What is up, everybody? It's WYKO, and I have a new tutorial for you guys, a new bass house banger. Let's get into it. This is another pretty simple idea. I'm going to show you how it sounds. This FLP is going to be available on my Patreon. Don't you guys forget. Okay, so this project is also very, very simple. I'm going to start with the kick. This is the main kick. I added a click. I rarely do this, but I felt the need to because like the waveform here showed like it had no real click here at the beginning and I was missing that. So added this. A couple of processing, not too much big of a deal to be honest. Just trying to tweak the EQ to make these two fit together. And then I linked everything to a bus and a Pro L. And then we have the stabs. Just some samples and presets just to keep the momentum going for the song. And then we have the top loops. And then some extra sounds, white noise, glass crashes, fills. So till now, pretty simple stuff. Now we go on to the most important stuff. It's the sub and the lead. First, we're gonna go over the lead. The main sound of the lead is this from the SIIK pack. So it's an amazing sound. It's just lacking tonality. You can't really define its tone. And I think that's because like if you remove the oscillators here, I think this is kind of like the main sound. I think it's like a stab or something. So it has like more than one note. So basically, I felt the lead needed a more defined tone. So I added these layers, screech, pluck. The pluck was used to actually define the tone, the screeches to give a little bit more energy. So I'm going to show you with and without these extra elements. So now without these extra elements, you know what I mean? It was missing that. So for the processing, EQ, remove the low end, endless smile, using it as a reverb. And I'm automating the wet knob. Then I'm using Camel Crusher. Then I'm using OTT. Then I'm using Kickstart. Here at the end, I usually don't do this either, but I think the pluck was peaking a little bit too much and not having enough sustain, so I decided to simply compress it. Normally I just let things peak, but this time I felt the need to control it a little bit. And then for the arpeggio, this is the original preset. I just pushed this 3 semitones up, give it a darker vibe, and then I used the LFO rate and the pitch for the channel to make this effect. Processing is OTT, EQ, Kickstart, Camel Crusher, and more EQ. Now for the bassline. The bassline is super important as well. It gives it a lot of extra movement. So what did I do for the sub? Grab this Cashmere 808. On the envelope, I messed with the K. So I didn't want the sample to have like infinite like hold. So I want a tight sample. And why is that? So that I'm able to like compress it and not having the 808 with too much sustain. I think sustain is what ruins the 808, to be honest. Like in trap songs and all that stuff, what you hear is the 808 like declining real fast. And you mainly feel the punch of the 808. That's what makes trap songs so big. So that's what I'm trying to do. I compress it a lot, but not give it like too much sustain so that you can feel the groove. If it has like too much sustain, it's like... it's not the same thing. So for the processing, so since I'm doing this, I'm also able to compress it a lot. So Camel Crusher, Sound Goodizer, Decapitator, OTT, Kickstart, and then a little bit of EQ. I really pushed it hard on the compression, but it does make a difference. So yeah, guys, this was the video. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was better for you guys to understand how I think of things when working on music. If you guys want to pick up the FLP to learn or to make some new ideas, go for it. It's available on my Patreon. And thank you to everybody that keeps supporting me. WYKO on, WYKO off.